Hello and welcome to this little video about removing one of the major challenges of learning how to play guitar. What happens in the beginning when you start is that you take your soft fingertips and you start pushing them in towards the fretboard. And that will leave cavities inside your fingertips, and pretty soon they'll get red, they'll get very sore, and you have to take long breaks, like days before you can play again. So let's say you practice for 4 hours for one day. That will put you on the bench for at least 3 to 4 days because it will destroy your fingertips. So you have that physical pain involved when you practice. What is that about? You can't have physical pain on top of all the other challenges you have. I mean, it's hard enough to finger a chord. It's hard enough to even play the guitar, but also to struggle with physical pain. You don't want that if you can avoid it. And to some people, when I give them this little easy method, they go, well, that's not good because I want to play an unmodified guitar. I want to learn to play the real thing because we're going to do a little modification to your guitar that makes it much easier to play, and I real a lot easier. But then they say, oh, that's not good because I want to learn to play the real thing. Yeah, but once you've been practicing for a while, this advantage becomes almost non-existent anymore. And so you can just play on a normal guitar again, and bam, the challenge of going from the modification to a normal guitar is like, 10 minutes, an hour tops, and you don't think about it. So that challenge that could have ruined your fingertips in the beginning mean a lot of pain, a lot of breaks in your practice routines. It's a long time when you can't practice for 2 days. It just messes up your rhythm completely. If you have a plan to practice each day, right? It's just such an unnecessary thing to put on yourself when you can remove it. So what is this fantastic trick? Well, it's very simple. It's so simple and so effective that it's completely unbelievable why all beginners don't do this. You tune down. Normally, this string here is an E string, so it's tuned to an E. But my E is in the 2nd fret on this guitar because I tuned down. So instead of tuning to the normal tuning where you have an E string, an A string, D, G, B, and E here, I'm tuning to a different set of notes. And so, oh, that sounds complex, but what you simply do, because I've already tuned down, so I can give you my notes, which would be a D, a G, this is a D string, right? And then the D G on the next, so D, G, C, F, A, and D again. So you get a completely different tuning. So you tune using my guitar here. I'm going to give you the notes one by one. You tune your guitar to that, and then you can go out and get yourself a chromatic tuner, or you can find a chromatic tuner on the internet. Just search for chromatic tuner online. The only requirement for that is that you can use the mic in your computer or laptop, and so you can record your guitar into the computer so the tuner can actually hear what you're playing. That's, of course, a prerequisite. So if you first tune to my guitar here, then you won't get it completely right, but it will be easy for you to hit the notes approximately. And then take a chromatic tuner afterwards, and then adjust to D, G, C, and all of that. And if you go to my website, there's a short little description of what to do and what notes to tune for. You can also go for the middle ground. You can tune down a semitone, which would be 1 fret only. So that's pretty easy to remember because instead of an E string, you just go for the E flat. You can do that yourself because that's so close to the note you have. So you simply just tune a bit down and then you follow it until the tuner says E, B, meaning E flat. So that's the trick. And what does that do for you? Well, just try it, because I can tell you, if you've been playing on a guitar with normally strung strings and practicing that, then you'll really feel a big difference going to this, because you completely remove the challenge of pushing down the strings towards the fretboard. That's a huge challenge. So instead of, for instance, when you're fingering the first chords, right? You're fingering a chord, you put your fingers on the right spot, but I place the first finger there now. The string is going to try and get my finger away from the fretboard because that's what it does, right? There's tension on it and I'm pushing it down. So while I have to focus on placing the 2nd finger in my little chord structure here, the first finger is battling the string to stay put on that spot there. So releasing the tensions on the string with one whole tone will bring the string down to a softness that's going to make it a dream to play on your guitar, even though it has relatively high action, meaning that the strings are very far apart from the fretboard, right? So this is a must. Why is it a must? Because in the beginning, when we start playing guitar or have played for a little, in that period of time, we are facing learning tons of skills simultaneously. So it's really important that we do everything we can to make it as enjoyable, as easy, and as fast to get results as humanly possible. Because one little strategy can mean all the difference. Can mean all the difference between whether you pass that finishing line. And the finishing line is just the line you get across where it's too late to go back. You're so good at playing chords and strumming and doing a little soloing that you can't really say I don't play guitar anymore, because you can. So you can't really give up anymore. That's the point we want to get to. And to get to that point, you need every single kind of little helpful strategy that you can get. So do this now. Even if you've been playing for some time, do it anyway. When I did this the first time, I couldn't believe it. My playing changed completely. My techniques were easier to blend with each other. I had less trouble playing. And then when I retuned to the normal tuning again, it took me, an hour to get used to that, and then I had the same level of skill again. It's a really, really effective strategy, and it's so easy. It takes you only 5 minutes to engage in, and there you have it. These are the words. I'll see you in another video.